I did not expect the kind of immediate success that We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together got, because I never want to set myself up for being disappointed. And I knew I loved the song, and I knew I loved the kind of new direction that it took and how different it was from everything I've done before, but I didn't know if other people were going to love it. So when we put it out and it rocketed onto radio, and it went so, like, it just did so many things that I never expected it to do thanks to the fans, it blew my mind. I'm still so excited about the fact that 4 albums in, we're just now having our most successful single. I think if I had to pick a reason why We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together has been successful, is I think it's one of those songs that just gets stuck in your head, and it will not. It just plays over and over. After we wrote it in the studio, I would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I cannot get this song out of my head. And I've always wanted to have a song like that just like kind of sticks. And it's a song about a breakup, which is a sad emotion, but it's sung in a really happy way. And so I think that being carefree about a breakup is something that helps us get over it. This album is called Red because I got the idea from a song that I wrote called Red. And it's about this relationship that is out of control and bad for you and hurtful and exciting at the same time. And, you know, I started thinking about how all of the emotions that I wrote about on this album, the intense emotions, the intense love, intense infatuation, intense anger, intense, loneliness or sadness or missing someone or pining away, all of those intense feelings are kind of defined as red, like red emotions. Those are the red feelings. So it just kind of made sense to me that those are the topics covered on this album. I hope that people are surprised when they hear this album. I hope in a good way. But, for me, I really wanted to make an album that wasn't like my first 3. I feel very proud that I feel like every album I've made kind of stands on its own and stands for something different. And when you've made 3 albums, on your 4th album, you can do things the way you've always done them, or you can challenge yourself and you can step out of that comfort zone and work with new people and make different sounding songs than you've made before. And that's what I wanted for this album. So I think that's what fans can expect from this, is to have every song kind of sound different from each other and for it to be a more of an unexpected record. I think for me, working with Jeff Basker, who's an amazing producer who does all these incredible drum beats, and working with Max Martin and Johan Shellback really brought different sounds out of me than I would have thought to do on my own. They took, my ideas and my lyrics and like what I wanted to do, and they amplified them and added their influence to it, which to me is the perfect kind of collaboration, when everybody's working, everybody's putting something into it. I think when you're writing songs about relationships, sometimes it helps you figure out what that relationship actually was. Sometimes when you're writing a song, you realize something that you never would have realized if you hadn't been writing lyrics about it or writing a chorus about it. Sometimes when you're rhyming things, you learn about yourself and you learn about what actually happened. So it can be something that really helps you just figure out how to process what you just went through. Speak Now was an album I was so proud of, and it did amazing things, and it was a wonderfully successful album thanks to the fans. And I didn't want to make the mistake of coasting. I didn't want to make the mistake of thinking, oh, well, that went well, we should just do that again. Let's just make another album like that. I think that would have been an easy thing to do, for sure, but it wouldn't have been something that would have made me as proud as what we did this time. working with Ed Sheeran was something that kind of happened. I heard his music in Australia and reached out to his management at the same time as he was reaching out to my management, and we both at the same time were thinking we wanted to write with each other. He is so incredibly talented, and as a writer, as a singer, as an artist, as a friend, he's just an all-around great person. So working with him and getting to know him was such an amazing opportunity and experience for me. I think that when you're around people who are great at what they do, and they at the same time are like a cool hang, it adds something amazing to it. I'm so excited he's a part of this album. It makes me really proud. It's crazy. I think when Ed and I started singing together, when we first started writing, I just thought in my head, oh, this makes sense. This is working really well, like when we started harmonizing. And that's when I decided in my head I just really wanted to write a duet. I wanted him to sing on the album. And I'm so glad that worked out, because it's one of my favorite moments on the record when his voice comes in. I think for me, the kind of happiness that I feel when I hear that the song has gone #1 on the Hot 100 for the 3rd week, and the kind of happiness I feel when the fans are understanding what I'm doing, when I'm hearing the feedback of getting all these text messages from people I never hear from saying they heard the song and they love it, like getting stopped wherever I go and people are saying they've heard the new song and they were blasting it in their car. It just gives you this pride in what you do that it makes this always feel new. Like, I've put out 3 records before this, but this feels like something new. So I think it adds an excitement to every single day that you get to do this when people are getting it. I called this album Red because it represents some really intense emotions that I felt in the last couple of years. And I think the intensity of what these songs are about can be reflected by the color red, and the love, anger, all of those emotions are categorized as red. I think if I had to put a color to Speak Now, it would be purple. I think that there's just something kind of I don't know, there's something kind of honest and true about that record that kind of to me seems purple. And Fearless to me is golden, because it was the first time that anyone really recognized my music outside of America, and to me that was like a golden rush of something new. My first album I think would be Blue, and that I know that's the colors of the album covers, but we chose those for reasons. My fans inspire me based on their loyalty, their dedication. I can't believe how dedicated and true and good they are. I trust them. I feel like they understand me. And to have that, that can help you out of any bad day that you have, when you realize that there are that many people that have your back and get you. Even if somebody else is misunderstanding you or thinking the wrong thing or spreading rumors or whatever, you can always go back in your head and think about the people that do have your back. And for me, that's my fans. That's what helps me out of any kind of bad mood. I think for me, the stories I hear in meet and greet lines all the time, girls will come up to me and be like, listen to what just happened to me the other day. This guy that I had been talking to totally made out with another girl in front of me, and they'll tell me these stories about their lives, and it can't help but kind of get into your subconscious and inspire you to write a song for something they might be going through. So I'm always kind of hearing things that my fans are going through and thinking, which song that I've written for this new album would help her in that situation right now? Okay, that should go on the record. I still have a lot of goals. I still have a lot of things that I really want to achieve. I think that touring internationally and going all over the world, playing big shows would be a huge goal for me to get to do that again. We did a really amazing world tour last year, and I'd love to make it bigger this year. And that's a big goal. I would love to be in a movie and tell a story that helped people. I would love to continue to write about what's happening to me, and I think that there are so many goals that haven't been achieved. You never run out of those. I don't feel like what I do is ever something that's the same. Like what I get to do, my schedule is never the same. It's never boring. It's always there's something unexpected going on. You're always in a different place seeing something new. And to me that's really exciting because I'm a really curious person and I love learning about new places and the people who live there. And that's, I think, part of why I like traveling the world so much and playing music, because it's just, to me, it's all a big adventure. When I was in Asia, we had so many amazing experiences. I remember this street fair we went to in Singapore, and the amazing restaurants we went to in Japan, and Hong Kong was so beautiful. We drove around the city and went to the beach. Korea was incredible to see that. I think for me, like, I just had never been to those places before, so getting to eat in an amazing teppanyaki restaurant in Japan, you realize that's how that's supposed to be. This is the legit way to eat Japanese food in Japan. It was an amazing experience getting to tour Asia. Like kind of the jewelry you see in pictures from like the 50s and stuff. Like I like pearls and stuff. I don't really accessorize that much, and I really like red lipstick.